What is up, everyone? We are back with the full crew for another episode of Spin from the Reel. I am back. I am Matt, and with me, as always, is the one and the only.
Matt's internet went out again. Here we go. Here we go. First week back, and it's gone. Sayonara.
Let me finish that. I'll finish that for him. Joining me, as always, is the one and the only Shug.
What is up?
That's
What is up? Poor Matt. First week back, and he gets just absolutely.
Oh, what's good? Everyone in the chat: Brandon, Jessica, Dragon17. What's good, y'all? Shug, how you doing, brother? What's good?
I'm doing okay, man. Doing okay. One of those days, but it's all good. Just chilling.
It's Monday, man. It's always one of those days.
Oh, it's a Monday, all right. It's one of those days. It is a Monday. How you doing, Chris? You have a good weekend, buddy?
Yeah, I had a decent weekend. For those who don't know, my name is Chris Anthony Lopez. Y'all can call me Cal. Y'all can call me Chris. Y'all can call me stupid as long as you're talking to me. So, Shug, we're here for some Spin from the Reel. We're starting a little bit early today because our guest, who will be joining us very, very shortly at the top of the hour, she had herself one busy ass week in the Schmodown.
Yeah, and she's taking her time out of her day to come hang out with us for a few minutes. So we're absolutely going to take advantage of it and talk to her. So as soon as she pops in, we'll bring her on. Yeah, we're starting early, Amaru. How you doing, Amaru, man? Cannot wait for your big match to come out. I saw the thumbnail,
2 weeks?
Pay-per-view.
2 weeks, right?
The 22nd. There he is.
That's next weekend.
Yeah, and look who's in the chat. Who's in the chat. This guy.
When did Rick Gratis get a YouTube?
He's had a YouTube. Did you not watch when the Rash was here?
The Rash, my favorite. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Rash.
more importantly, on that card, Amaru Moses is competing for the IG belt. I'm rooting for you, brother. Amaru Moses. You already know, brother.
Yes. Amaru Moses going for the IG belt, trying to take away from the person that we were going to have on, her one of her competitors in her faction, right. Mike Kalinowski. So we'll talk about that too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it's
faction.
Yeah, he never picks them, but we won't talk about that.
So before we continue, make sure everyone who's watching right now, first of all, tell the people who are joining us live, thank you. Secondly, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to Wild Real Entertainment. We have a bunch of content on the channel every single week, so go ahead and subscribe to it. Really Scared's back, Real Sports, the RGC, and Rest of Real will be back very, very shortly. I know I said there's going to come back, but things happen, Life happens.
Schedules.
Schedules suck. But you know what? It is what it is. And like I said, we're going to be joined. You might have seen her in the thumbnail. It's Shannon Barney. She'll be joining us at the top of the hour. Also joining us today at around 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. It's going to be Slick Nick of the Stars. We'll have Chaos Theory. Chaos Theory and Deception had one barn burner of a match this past Thursday. They just gave that one to us for free. So we're going to be seeing that one or talking to him about that match when my man comes on at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Is it 5:30? Yeah, 5:30 Pacific. Yeah. 6:30 Pacific? Something like that.
5:30. 5:30. You're correct.
But some pay-per-view live streams happened. Wasn't it weird watching the show as it happened? Like, has someone done that before?
It was beautiful. Yeah, that's how most of the pay-per-views have been when it's been a live pay-per-view.
And I don't remember watching a Schmodown like that.
Oh yeah, there's been a couple like that, but it was weird that we didn't do a show afterwards because we were all like busy, and I'm fixing my camera. Sorry, I haven't used it in a couple, but we were all busy. Everybody was like, "We're gonna do are we gonna do a thing after the pay per view?" No, we can't. No. Like I'm out. Chris is doing this. I'm doing this. Jeff's actually at the event. Buck is busy, and Matt is doing whatever. So we're like, all right, well, I guess we're not doing a show, and we didn't do a show, so we didn't get to talk about it. Like we didn't get to talk about anything, and so it's like, all right, very weird feeling. I didn't like it. I was very upset.
Did you feel weird going live for 6 hours on Watt or Show Me the Money's channel? Like it, I don't know.
Jessica could have done it. Jessica could have done it. Yeah,
you could have one woman show, Jessica. You could have gone nuts. I bet. You know, we would have given you the Watt login for a night. You know, just keep it. Keep it.
I mean, I think everybody else has it. So
literally anybody in this damn Schwan space has the Watt login. If you don't have the Watt login, DM Matt. He'll just give it to you.
Exactly.
That's typically how it goes. But there's 5 matches from this past week, and we're gonna be talking about the corruption ones with Shannon and Barney at the top of the hour. But briefly, ever so briefly, if we can talk about it for a minute, that Star Wars match that we got last week, that us patrons got on Monday, but the public saw on Wednesday. As Rick Red is going nuts in the chat. I'm happy to see you, Rick, but I'm not, but I am at the same time. But Star Wars match, Joseph Scrimshaw, the return of Joseph Scrimshaw, and Goal Leader. Yeah. What did y'all think of the match overall? Like Scrimshaw's performance, him being back after being away for a year and a half.
Well, let's just say this: the man is like freaking the Easter Bunny. He shows up one time a year and just brings out joy. He give this man his kudos, man. I haven't seen him. The last match we seen him in was the perfect match against versus Andrew DiMolanta. And he goes perfect. He ends up losing in overtime. We all remember that match. And then he plays Goal Leader. And yeah, he didn't have the greatest round 1, but from round 2 on, he played great. And he made Goal Leader answer his 5. And look, let's be honest. We've seen some matches recently. If you just don't answer your 5, you win. And Scrimshaw, we know he's very busy. We know he has a lot of podcast stuff going on. He has life. Dude, to make Goal Leader, and as good as we seen Goal Leader play, answer your 5, kudos to you. And we haven't seen you all year. He hasn't played anybody since Andrew DiMolanta. Look at the man. The man is on the Rushmore of Star Wars competitors to me.
And he only has one win. Shug.
Are you talking about Goal Leader or Scrimshaw?
Scrimshaw.
Oh,
Shug, wow. I agree with you 110%, and it's a crime that he only has one win in 5 matches, because his knowledge is right up there with Alex Damon, Thomas Harper, Andrew
DiMolanta. Yeah.
But the issue is he always ends up going against these buzzsaws.
Yeah.
So
and he's not a conventional competitor. We see the difference now in the Schmodown and competitiveness and strategy and everything like that. Like, it is a thing. We saw it. We'll talk about it when we saw it with Horowitz, Griffey Newman. We saw it with Marisol and Chance. And yes, this is a spoiler.
We're
talk.
Spoiling the hell out of
the
whole week.
Yeah, so if you didn't watch it,
haven't seen it, go.
Check out the replay when you're done with the page.
And then if you think about it for Scrimshaw, what has he lost to? He lost to incorrectly just saying one word versus DiMolanta. Alex beat him, but it was close. He pushed Alex. And then now he loses the Goal Leader just to a 5-pointer.
And the 3-way match. So he's lost to Alex twice, technically.
Yeah. I mean, so it's like this guy deserves to be mentioned with the Star Wars great. He deserves, and again, life happens. We understand. So he's busy. Hey, we all get it. We understand.
Right.
So he absolutely deserves not only respect from us, but he deserves to be talked about as some of the greats. And so I think that this was a good match. It's a good showing for the Goal Leader, because he wasn't playing a rookie. He wasn't playing a second-year person. He was playing Joseph Scrimshaw, who's been in some battles, who's played Alex Damon. And it showed, and we know Goal Leader's been able to answer his 5, but this really, this is one of those scrappy matches. It was a scrappy match. He was able to pull it out. It's going to be interesting now seeing Goal Leader versus Laura Kelly. Because that's going to be absolutely amazing to watch, and the character work is going to be awesome. Like, the character work alone is going to be amazing. So
we love Goal Leader on this channel. Like, we love Goal Leader, and Joseph Scrimshaw has been away for a minute, but at the same time, this is a match that's been this match is the biggest question mark around it to me, solely because of Joseph Scrimshaw. we didn't know what guy we were going to get. Granted, the guy lives and breathes Star Wars like a lot of these folks do. A majority of the Star Wars division lives and breathes and eats and also sleeps in Star Wars. Like that's all they do. And that's why they succeed so much in this league, because they're that they can rattle off all these damn facts about Star Wars that Suge and I can barely even comprehend. We can barely speak English, let alone say some shit in Star Wars. But Scrimshaw, besides him, missing some questions in the first round and having to opt out to multiple choice in the second round, like what you said, Suge, he still took Gold Leader to his 5. And granted, that's the typical in Star Wars nowadays. We got peeps going all the way to the 5. But after being away from the game for almost 18 months, if it already hasn't been 18 months, that's impressive nonetheless. That's something we have to chalk up to him. And, great performance on Gold Leader's part. I don't want to take this away from Gold Leader either. My man.
I do. Absolutely take it away from him.
My man performed in every facet that you have to in a tournament like this, where you have names like Laura Kelly, where you have names like Molly and Alex Damon, But now we have we have one more slot in our semifinals filled up with Gold Leader moving on. And we're waiting for, was it just the Damons, right?
Yep.
To see how that match goes. And then holy shit, that could burn the whole house down. If Molly gets past Alex, then we have one crazy ass Final Four. Even if Alex gets past Molly, this Final Four is locked and it's set as hell with Nick DiMolanta. You got Laura Kelly, and shout out to Eric Whiteley too. Talk about folks who are unlucky. Eric Whiteley is awfully unlucky, and this year proved that. And Joseph Scrimshaw and Gold Leader, seeing Gold Leader advance, not a lot of us are surprised, but damn, it was still a hard-fought match, and that's exactly what we should anticipate in these Star Wars matches. So good on them. And it was fun to see Joseph Scrimshaw come back and him not give a shit about the character part of the Schmodown, because that's just, it's not that he doesn't care, but he just comes in. He's a good dude.
Very good dude. Very good dude. And he's very knowledgeable. And it's like, you know what, I appreciate it. And for him to show up and play, and I think somebody in here said, Scrimshaw is most unlucky player. Right here, Jeremy Miller saying Scrimshaw is not playing earlier this year due to his schedule. I think affects his gameplay. Absolutely. If he had a little bit more time and he had the gameplay down, I think it would eliminate some of the mistakes he made. But he was still able to make Gold Leader go to his 5. And so.
I want to spotlight this real quick. Garth McMurray in the chat. Damon versus Damon's actually the Patreon match that we're getting today. So that's we're awfully we're getting hella spoiled, and it's crazy that the season's rapidly coming to an end. Yeah. Like that's something I'm also not comprehending. Like
Spectacular is like a month, what? Month and a half away?
Less than 2 months out.
Less than 2 months. I don't need to go a month and a half yet because we're still about 6 days, less than a month. So it's not
okay. So less than 2 months away, we'll all be together. Like you saw the people in New York taking pictures, and things like that. It was great to see, but now it's going to be on a bigger scale in 2 months, where people are coming in. We know that we've already booked our house. The Watt Really Entertainment house is booked, and it's all Watt.
Thanks, Jessica.
All night. Yeah. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Taylor Cleek, the host of Real Scared. And so it's gonna be awesome and we're gonna see all these matches, and we're gonna talk about the pay-per-view later. But some of the pay-per-view set, we know who's going to Spectacular from the pay-per-view. We still have the singles tournament, we still have the teams tournament. We have the Star Wars tournament. Edgy's over. We know that Robert Parker is playing either Amaru Moses or Mike Kalinowski at Spectacular. It's coming. Now we're getting it all set. Things are starting to form. Spectacular is going to be dope.
Insane.
It's going to be a riot. And this past week, I always forget how the season's going to wrap up soon. At Spectacular, we're done. The season's done, and then we move on to season 9. But now, we're getting into the thick of it with the singles tournament, we saw with
into the thick of it.
Into the
thick of it.
with Collins and Meyer, and the Star Wars tournament's also been giving us some bangers, But shout out to all these folks. What's going on?
Yeah.
Did we did we forget one?
No, we said Kalinowski or Amaru Moses.
Yeah, I said Parker is set. Now we got to wait for Amaru Moses or Mike Kalinowski. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about we'll talk about that
later.
Yeah. Moses, you're absolutely right. Yeah, we weren't talking about that yet, but
not yet, Thrawn, not yet. Sorry, bud.
Last warning.
Yes, Thrawn. Yes, Thrawn.
Are happening in this show. If you have not seen the pay-per-view, I'm sorry. It's one hell of a spoiler in the chat. But we don't talk about the Patreon match until next week. But we do not. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Although you're making me seem awfully excited for that shit, Thrawn.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Now let's obviously we're talking about New York, and so we're gonna bring in somebody that was at New York. She's gracious enough to give us some of her time, even though from a long flight, busy day, I'm sure. But she came to join us for a little bit and talk to Schmodown. Really appreciate her.
Yes.
And that's obviously the queen of corruption, Miss Shannon Barney.
Woo!
Hello, Shannon. How are you doing?
How's everybody doing?
Doing great.
Right?
Great.
Great. Now, welcome to the show.
Chris over here shilling already.
Yo!
Great shirt.
Thank you. See, Shannon, longtime fan, longtime follower. Been loving what you've been doing in the Schmodown, by the way. Like, they call me a shill, whatever. Like, that's fine. But how are you you've been busy this week? Scrimshaw, Chance, Marisol, of course, Adam, Deception. You've been popping. You've been popping off this week.
That's what happens when you're winning, man. You just got to keep going. It doesn't stop. This train just keeps friggin' rolling. There's no brakes. No brakes.
No brakes. No.
Like, where do we even start? Like, do we start with New York? How was New York? Just the whole vibe. Like, because I know we're gonna talk to Nick Harley in a little bit, and he was there as well. But how was it for you? The whole experience?
It was wild. And it wasn't long enough. Like I got in like late Friday night, and I just kind of hit the ground running. Saturday, I slept in as long as I could, and then had to just go and start getting ready and getting prepped and running back and forth and making sure Chance and Marisol were set up. And then the next day, it was like we had a fun night after the match. After the event, we all went out and it was great. So Sunday, I was like, okay, I really need to sleep, and that didn't happen either. New York lives up to its moniker. It does not sleep, and I value my sleep very much. So I came home yesterday, and I was just like, I got in at like 9:00. There were no like Ubers and Lyfts available, so I was sitting outside of the Burbank airport for like an hour, going, "Why the hell can I not get home?" And I live like not even 5 miles away from the airport, and it was like almost a $40 cab or Lyft ride finally back. And I was like, this is garbage. So I was pissed when I got home, and I was just like, I need to go to bed. And then I didn't go to bed. I was in New York time, so I stayed up till like after midnight, and I was just exhausted. So I was like, I'm going to sleep in all day today. Excuse us, by the way. I was helping Mike with a self-tape, so he's taking down our setup.
Oh, you're good.
No problem.
I was like, I don't care either. I'm like, all right, let's roll. Today I tried to like refresh and get like my head back in like a working space, and I'm still not there yet. I'm still so tired, but we had a blast. It was awesome.
Yeah, I bet it was awesome. Go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say, well, she mentioned how busy Friday was. What went on Friday? There's a long Twitter exchange going on between Marisol and Chance. What was going on there?
There was what happened?
Yeah, what are you talking about, Matt?
What did
we do?
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Move along. Look, man, brothers and sisters fight. And let's be real, this match was one that meant a lot to both of them. And they were both fighting for something very different, but very specific. You know what I mean? Chance has been wanting that singles belt ever since he joined the Schmodown. That's what he's been working towards. And so that's all he wanted to do this year. That was his only goal. He didn't care about anything else. He just wanted to get to that singles belt. And Marisol had a very short run with that belt. You know what I mean? I think it was like a 3-week to a month turnaround time. So she wanted to defend it. And both of them are really, really strong personalities and really, really devoted to the game. So, yeah, the tension's real because they both want to win. they're on the same faction, but that doesn't mean they don't want to win. I think people like to compare it or try to compare it to, Mike and Chance and Inner Geekdom, but they have to understand that Mike had nothing to lose, and neither did Chance. Chance is playing with house money. He didn't know he was going to go all the way to the finals and beat Mike in that turn. You know what I mean? He didn't think he would. Not that he didn't think he would, but he wasn't setting his sights on doing that. So we were able to just kind of relax and have fun with it, and there weren't really huge stakes in that. And that's why we went on vacation, and that's why we had the luau, and that's why it was a big party. And that was just as fun. But Marisol and Chance are hungry and they want to win. And I was like, we're not doing the same thing. I want to make sure that you're being coached and managed the same way I would coach and manage you, regardless of who you're playing.
Right. Well, then there was the issue of Grace's little theatrics right before their match.
Yeah. Didn't like that. Wasn't a fan of that. Didn't need that distraction from my boy.
People are just gotta be rude. That's it. People are just rude and
just rude, man.
But the whole atmosphere just going into the match, yeah, like they squabbled a little bit. Yeah, fine, cool. But corruption, locking tight. We've known that for a while now. Since you established that last year. By the way, inaugural season, and look where Shannon's at now, her second season in, really. You're a vet now. Just want to point that out there. But now y'all are really into the thick of it and at the top of the leaderboards.
Yeah.
And folks are here, here we go again. Corruption. Oh, they're towards the bottom. Oh, they're not good. Oh, I heard about it on this show. I heard about it on other shows, on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, wherever the hell you want to find it. It's somewhere. People are talking shit.
Yeah.
But now here y'all are at the top again. And Marisol leading the charge with the singles as a singles champion. And after the match with Chance and Marisol was, of course, Chance is going to be disappointed. But what was the vibe for you having to manage both at the same time? And was that a choice that you made, or was there something like, oh, maybe we should bring in a proxy for one of the other competitors? What was the thought process behind that, if you can tell us?
Yeah, I can tell you a little. I mean, I wanted to manage them both, but I also talked to them both to make sure that they were okay with it. Because like I said, it was just a totally different vibe, and I wanted them to feel the most supported in whichever way that worked out. There's some business schmodown things and reasons why we didn't have other people as well, but I don't really need to dissect that. It's business matters. But I wanted to manage them both, and they were both perfectly fine with me managing them. It was just a situation of I want to make sure that they both felt like they got equal and valuable time in their studying and in their getting prepared for the match. So it was fun. I mean, it's not hard to manage them. They're both so easy to manage, and they're both so cooperative, and they're both so awesome. So managing them wasn't difficult for me to run back and forth and keep my thoughts straight between who I'm talking to at the time. What was hard was the emotional part of it because, like I said, even after the post-match, I know how much of their lives they've invested in it. And, Christian asked me after the match, he's like, how are you? How are you feeling? And I'm like, Christian, I said, I just had someone have the happiest night of their life. And then I had someone else just have the worst night of his life. I said, so I have someone who's feeling the highest of highs right now, and simultaneously someone feeling the lowest of lows, and I get to feel them both at the same time. So I'm not okay. I said, I've never felt more bipolar in my life. I feel like this, I don't know what to, I'm feeling all, you know what I mean? I felt manic, and then I felt depressed, and I was like, well, I have to find that line of celebrating Marisol's win and giving Chance the support he needed after his loss. So that part's hard. That was really hard. But I mean, you just do your best, you give them space and you don't put too much on either of them. And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's very crazy. And it's funny because, I talked to you before, Shannon, and I remember this. We were talking about, you said, this was a thing Mike did. And I just decided to start going with him. And now, let's be honest, when you say corruption, you think Mike Kalinowski, but now you really think Shannon Barney too. It's 1A, 1B. And you're
sorry, Mike.
I mean, it's kind of true. I mean, but but you have really established yourself going back to this last year and to this year. You've had 3 of the belts. You've had the teams, you have the singles, and you've had the IG. You managed Mike back to the IG belt. You've managed Marisol to the singles. You managed Chance to the IG to get the belt and the finals of the IG tournament. I mean, and you did really good with Laura Kelly and Star Wars. So, there's no slack there behind. Like, how's it feel to, like, you were like, oh, this is Mike's thing, and now you've kind of taken it, full force with you. How does it feel, knowing that you've done a lot of good in this league?
I honestly don't think about it much. Like, I don't give myself. I mean, I like to talk about myself in character and make it about me sometimes, because I do work hard. So I feel like I deserve, like, okay, she's legitimately working her ass off with these people. I'm not just doing it. I'm not showing up the day of the game and just being like, all right, let's put on a show. Like, I'm fully invested in everyone that's on our team. But like, I still don't feel like it's my thing. But now it's not like, oh, this is Mike's thing and I'm joining it. Now it's kind of just like a communal kind of vibe, but I don't feel like it's, excuse me for a second. I don't feel like it's like, oh yeah, I'm taking over this shit. Save to downloads.
Don't touch it.
I'm not touching it. Okay, sorry.
No.
Now we have to upload self-tapes and edit them, and so yeah. So we're doing double duty here. Sorry.
No,
Totally understand. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's. I think it's a. Obviously we both know that you and Mike are together, but I think it's like when we think of Shannon and Mike, and especially you. I don't think it's like you've taken over. I think it's more of a, like, you've really embraced the community. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it the other day. A couple of the first introductions to you to the Schmodown, which was one of my favorites, was your Christmas thing with Mike, where you're like, "What's up, nerds?" And he's like, "We're not doing character work," but it was so great. And I remember people talking about, "Is she going to be good? Like, we don't know. She doesn't. We don't know what she's going to do." And you fully, like, take it, like, you are, like, so much ingrained in the Schmodown now, and only in your second year. You were manager of the you were the manager of your year last year, pretty close to probably winning it this year. And you've done some historical things, obviously, with Marisol winning the belt, managing her to the belt. Adam Collins was a rookie last year, came into this year with the belt. He did lose it to Dan Murrow, but Mike hadn't seen the belt in a minute, and now he's the champ, has a big matchup against Amaru to go to Spectacular
or Challenger.
Or now with that whole, how do you feel about that whole Challenger thing? Like, how?
It's like, if they want to give us more points before Spectacular, then okay, like, that's dumb. I wouldn't do that if I were them, but cool. Step up, give us some more points. We'll take them.
Damn, step up, yo.
Let's go.
Mike already got to do that.
And I gotta say one thing too about all of these accolades. Like, I don't think people, because Chance lost, I think Chance is finally getting the credit and the respect that he is long overdue and deserving. But, like, people need to remember, and they need to be saying out loud, that Chance is the only other player who has played for a title shot, who has played for the belt in 3 divisions. The only other person I think to do that is friggin' Rachel Cushing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then Mike got close, but, like, Chance is the only one to do it since Rachel. Title shots.
Yeah.
That's wild. It's absolutely wild how incredibly skilled this kid is. And I know he had a rough night that night, and we did our best to drink it away and enjoy the company of our friends. And we did. And he's going to be fine. He's going to be okay. But I think people need to be talking about Chance more. I think he slips under the radar because he's not a large, out like crazy, you know what I mean? But when he's in his zone and he's got a job to do, he does it, and he does it really well. But I think he's just not a bombastic character that people think of right away. But bless you. But he deserves all the credit in the world. I don't know that there's anyone else in this league, maybe 1 or 2 other people, and they're probably on my faction, that can do what Chance has done.
That's very true. Chance, I think we've always talked about in this channel, Chance is a triple threat. We said Mike was a triple threat, and they both are. When you have those cornerstones, you're easily able to come back like Chris said, everyone was like, "Oh well, corruption's down at the bottom again. What's going on? What's going on?" And now look at you guys are up at top again, like last year, making a run, going into spectacular.
Is anyone surprised that Shug is?
No, not really. With the possibility of having 3 matches at spectacular. If Mike beats Amaru, if Deception could get to the finals of the teams tournament, and Marisol's already punched a ticket to spectacular, it could be in pretty much a corruption spectacular. How forward are you looking to spectacular, especially like other than the other matches with Marisol being able to? I mean, that's gonna be a big moment. Marisol defending the belt at spectacular. How excited are you for that?
I'm really excited for it. And like I was talking to Mike earlier, and I'm like, you have to beat Amaru. You have to, because that will now, it would be like the third like live event that he and Marisol will have like headlined together. And I'm like, how cool would it be if the 2 of you are at spectacular? I mean, I feel like every major event so far with like a doubleheader from Corruption has been Mike and Marisol. And it's kind of been, you know, the spotlight has kind of been on those 2 a lot this season. And I'm like, you have to beat them. You have to beat them now, because I need you at spectacular to represent with Mary, because it's just fun. You know what I mean? And they're both so good with the crowd that it would be awesome to see them both there. But and if Deception can get through this teams tournament, it's going to be so hard because everyone is insanely good in this teams tournament. There's no easy match, no matter what side of that tiny little bracket you're on. These people are so freaking good, and it's an uphill battle. So they got a lot of work to do, and we'll see if they can pull it off. But yeah, I hope to be overworked at spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned this team's tournament is dangerous. We saw that with basically a brand new team only playing their second match, pushing you guys to the brink. Like, yeah, overtime's no joke.
Yeah. I'm so glad it was just that one question. I'm like, okay, let's be done. I'm like, because all I need is one slip up, and I'm like, nope. But they won it. I know Adam and Marisol won it really bad, and I know that they're working overtime to make sure they're as prepared as possible. It's hard. It's hard to stay and I'm not trying to be like an asshole, but like when you're winning, you're playing more. And it's like, not only are they playing, but then they're helping people study in IG. They're helping our Star Wars players. They're helping each other. So I feel like no one on our team gets time for their brain to just like come back down. They're constantly working, and it's exhausting. Like, it's very tiring. It's mentally tiring. And I think sometimes you see that in our gameplay where it's like, all right, let's take a step back, and like, you know, we can't be perfect all the time, but you see matches here and there where whether it's Adam or Mike or whoever, and you're like, wow, okay, that was a little rough for them. Or even Chance, you know, the other night. It's like, but they're working so hard, and their brains are just full to the brim of information in multiple divisions, and all of them are in multiple divisions. Like I said, they're helping each other. So it's tiring. It's a lot of work, but they're doing.
I bet. Yeah, I bet. And I wanted to ask you about this. Adam Collins, you know, he rookie last year, you picked him up. He ran through the tournament, ran through some great players, had some great matches. Brendan Meyer, Liz Shannon Miller, beats Dan Merle, the GOAT at most Schmodown players. But this year he's had a tough year. But a lot of people, but I don't know if you consider it a sophomore slump, because where else would he have gone? He had the belt, and then, you know, he's not going anywhere but down unless he holds on to the belt for the whole year. What has been your assessment of Adam this year? And just like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I told him as much. I said, when you're basically perfect, anything less than that is going to feel like a failure. You know what I mean? And in his matches, he's not coming. He's just this close. He's still only missing 2 or 3 questions a match, if that. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's playing poorly. It's not like he lost the information and now he like sucks. You know what I mean? It's just everyone is ramping up because they want to beat us. They want to beat us. They want to beat him. And again, he's in every single session. He's helping Marisol. He's doing everything. He's literally doing everything. And I think you just get tired. I don't think he's done. I don't think he's ready to be like, all right, that's enough for my season. He's still hungry. But again, anything less than what he did last year feels like an abject failure. And even though it's not, he's still playing absolutely phenomenal. It's just been not enough because you had to be perfect to be the kid. You know what I mean? He played a flawless game. There was nothing better Adam could have done except go totally perfect and see what happens, you know? So those are, that's out of our control. How someone else plays is completely out of our control. So.
And speaking of going perfect, like the Star Wars division, that I feel like that's all we see nowadays is folks going perfect or damn close.
Yeah.
And with Joseph Scrimshaw this past week, we hadn't seen him in forever. Like it's been a minute. I mean, you've probably seen him a lot more than we have over the last 18 months. But when you drafted him, a lot of folks were anticipating his return because of his performance last year. I guarantee that was a big reason to why you picked him up. But what was it like talking to him before this match? Because we're 9 months into the season, 8-9 months in, and we're just not seeing him. Granted, it's the one and done, but how was it talking to Joseph and maybe him just, I'm here to have fun, and you're like, oh hell no, excuse me, I and all that, him getting into the whole corruption shtick, if there ever was that thought that crosses his brain, how was it talking to him?
Joseph is hilarious, and he is the sweetest person. And I know his motivation for playing is not necessarily the same as some of the other more aggressive competitors on my team. And I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I needed a Star Wars player, and Joseph was my best option at that time to pick up when I did. And I had to pick up. And then I went and got Sully right away too. But I didn't, I'll be totally honest, I didn't know everyone didn't pick him because of his availability. I know he's busy. I thought he would not be available at all. And I was like, oh crap, did I just make a massive mistake? And so I talked to him and he's like, no, I'm available. I have limited availability. And I was like, okay, great. So, that's why he wasn't in the first tournament. And then he said he'd commit to the second tournament. And I worked really hard with him to make sure that we could accommodate his schedule because he is incredibly busy and he's got a lot going on. And again, he's old school. He's not doing the schmodown to study all day and be, you know what I mean? His life mission is not to be a schmodown champion. And like I said, our team is so crazy sometimes and we get so into the game. It's like, you still gotta have fun. You still have to have people on your squad that are there for fun, that can liven the mood, like that aren't there going, okay, I need like 18 study sessions. You know what I mean? So I'm happy. It feels good to take a step back and be like, all right, this guy just wants to have a good time. Are there points on the line? Did we not get a single freaking point in Star Wars this season? Yeah, that cool. But we don't need it. We didn't need it. And he went out of his way to sit in on study sessions with us and prepare himself as best he could. And he knew what he was getting into when he started watching these matches and going, oh crap, this is evolved yet again. And he took it upon himself to be prepared for that. And I really appreciate it. But also it was nice to just take a breath and go, all right, we don't care if we win. I mean, I care, but I'm not going to be like, well, Scrimshaw, you got to get in here. No, that's not what he came here for. And I knew that. So it was fun to just relax and be like, all right, here we go. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean?
I mean, he took goal leader to his 5-pointer. I mean, we've seen it. If goal leader doesn't ask for his 5-pointer, Scrimshaw's moving on. And so it wasn't like a blowout. It wasn't even like it was a competitive, really good match. And like I said, Scrimshaw deserves a lot of credit for just showing up, playing. And and we were talking about before you came on, if he had just maybe a little bit like one match before for gameplay, I think he could have won. He could have absolutely won. Yeah. So even that is accredited to obviously like Joseph, but also you, because I think it was a great match. I had no problem walking away from that match going, okay, goal leader's a good player, but Joseph Scrimshaw deserves to be talked about in the Star Wars competitors from, like you said, the old school and even the new school. He's right there, I believe. I think his record does not reflect his knowledge and everything like that. So I know we have you for a few more minutes, Shannon, and just wanted to like also bring up like what was the feeling? Because coming through watching it on screen, I mean, it felt real powerful. But what was the feeling when they announced Marisol winning the belt? I know she just had the defense, but that moment when she won the belt, especially for you, being new in the Schmodown, being a woman, obviously being a woman of color, what was that feeling for you when that happened?
I was completely split because I immediately thought of her and I immediately thought of Chance, and my brain literally just went, pfft. And I'm crying because I'm happy, and then I'm also crying because I'm sad. It's a huge deal. it's a really big deal that she defended. And I was worried that if Chance beat her, that people wouldn't take, not that they wouldn't take her win seriously, but because it would have been like the shortest run of any champion. And I didn't want that for her. I didn't want her to have the belt for 3 weeks and then that's all she sees of it. You know, and I told her and Chance, I said, no matter what happens, whoever walks out of this winning, like, the other person's going to be circling around a title shot again. So just because you lose this doesn't mean you're out of it. In fact, you're going to be right there, you know, going for it again. So you can't let this like ruin your psyche. You know what I mean? Because now you've established yourselves in this place where you're going to be constantly competing for this belt. So you're in a good place whether you win or lose. But yeah, it means a lot. It's awesome. I'm so proud of her for defending it. I mean, she played to earn it, you know what I mean? And she did, and she performed beautifully in that. Like I'm really excited for her. I don't like harping too much on the women did it, and you know, us women of color. I mean, it's important and it matters, but I don't want to sound patronizing or pandering about it. So it's like I recognize it, and I think it's amazing, and I think it's much needed in our community. So I'm really, really excited. But also, I want to be like, yeah, and she's a champion.
No, I agree. It is very much needed because there's we're the only after show of color. There's not the more color that's there because there's not a lot of competitors of color in the league.
Right.
So just to have a champion who is of color is a big thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
It matters. And you need to see it on screen in every whatever you're watching, whatever hobbies you have or whatever you're into. You have to see representation. And so for her to do it, she did. And the fact that Chance was the one fighting with her for it. Like, two competitors of color on screen going for a title shot in our most prestigious division. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, it's crazy freaking awesome.
And see, Shannon, and first of all, thank you for coming on the program. We really appreciate your time. And trust me, like, just the three of us talking to the group chat, it's like, we're going to get Shannon on. Like, come on.
No, and I have just been so, like, unresponsive and not –
You're fine.
Not been a good participant, but I was like, I need to come on there because I know Shug, you've asked me before, and we've been trying to figure out our schedules. So I'm really glad that we hop on with you guys. It's awesome. Yeah. I want to pat myself on the back.
No, do it, please. I mean, like we do all the time here, so I mean, it's only right if you come on.
Well, Chris more than others.
Me more than anybody, admittedly. But before we let you go, I do want to ask. I've been asking a lot of people this, and I'm curious to get your 2 cents because corruption. Like, yeah, all the factions are tight-knit, especially this year, but y'all have been like that for a minute now. And yes, like you and Mike spearheaded that last year when you first drafted your team together and you picked up Marisol and Adam as you went. Mm-hmm. But next season, we all know there's going to be a change in factions, and it's going to suck across the whole league. But in your opinion, like what's been, when you found that out, what was it like for you knowing like, oh my God, my team's going to get cut in half, if I even get to keep 5 at that point, because you know whatever happens.
Right.
But how do you feel about corruption's future, knowing it won't be the same as it has been for your 2 seasons you've been in the Schmoedown?
It's gonna suck because you know, and people forget. Like I drafted Marisol last season. I think she was like my 6th pick, so she was on our squad from the draft. Adam's the one who came about in free agency, and that wasn't until. Almost into the season. He came in right before the tournaments. But Marisol, I drafted. I met her in Orlando, and I saw her on the roster, and I was like, I'm going to get her. And she was like my 6th pick. So she's been along. She's been corruption from day one. And even the people that were my 10th draft pick or my 10th pickup, whatever. Like everyone has a place on our team, and we genuinely, like, everyone gets on sessions, everyone talks, everyone's friends, like they're all supportive of each other, and I don't want to lose any of them. But the one like silver lining of it all is that I'm gonna have less work to do. Like a lot of decisions have been put on me to make, and a lot of the decisions I've had to sit with my faction and make, and it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, and I love it, but it is a lot. So having some of the control taken out of my hands is going to be kind of a relief. You know what I mean? Then I don't have to break any hearts. I don't have to set any. You know what I mean? It's out of my control. So I have to take what I get, and I can't throw a fit, and that's what I'm going to do. So I don't know what's going on for next season. I don't know who's going where. I don't know how many people I can keep. I don't know. I mean, hopefully chance ignores grace. I mean, there's
that rumor running around that Chance is leaving corruption, right? Oh, it's the Schmodown. They start rumors.
Someone may have started that rumor last December.
Yeah, rumors are rumors, but you know what? A fact is that Shannon's the best, and
why is Mike
our
so
show
loud?
today.
Why is Mike so loud though?
Is he there?
He's there.
He's in the chat. He's in the chat.
Oh, shouldn't he be studying?
Totally noted.
Oh,
But Shannon, for real, thank
Oh
you
boy!
so
I'll look what you said, Amaru.
Thank you so much, Shannon, for coming on the program. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, good luck to you and the rest of the squad for the rest of the season. Again, thanks. This is so much fun.
Of course. Oh, we can't.
Oh, there's the bell.
There he is.
You're just Mike. It's nice to see you again, sir.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh boy, you can't get rid of us now. I told you guys I had a heart out, but now Mike's in the building.
Start studying, Amaru. Start studying.
Jeez.
Shannon, it was nice to finally get to talk to you about Schmodown because I know we got to hang out on Winston's stream like back in January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was awesome seeing you at the cantina, Shannon. You actually kind of surprised me because I had been drinking and I walked outside and I was like on my phone and I just hear, "Hey, Suge," and I look up and there's Mike and Shannon studying. They were studying and it scared me. Yeah, no. She was like asking them questions and I scared the crap out of them. Like, oh shoot, I'm bugging them. All right, I'll turn around and then go back. I was like, I don't want to bug them, but it was awesome.
I'm like, you didn't come hug me or like want to take a picture with me? And I was like, all right. Cool.
No, because I totally thought you guys were studying. I'm like, oh my god, I'm bugging them. They're studying right now. I need to move out of the way. But it was awesome to see you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Appreciate you for being part of the community. You're awesome.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, miss.
All right. Thanks guys for having me on. Everyone have a good
Later, Mike.
Later, Mike.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Later. Oh gosh, Shannon Barney, everybody.
Chris is a happy boy.
Yeah, shout out to Shannon and to Mike Kalinowski, the IG champ.
Amr is getting. He says he's getting. Is Mike getting ready to send it to him?
Yo, holy hell! No, but getting to talk to Shannon. I mean, since last year, like that was a great rookie season for a man. For like, not even. I don't even want to say for a manager, just for someone in the Schmodown. She had one hell of a rookie season,
yes.
And then just to continue that success this year is a lot, especially for someone who just jumped into this head first, and look at all her success. So shout out to Shannon Barney for coming on the program and for the cameo from Mike Kalinowski.
Absolutely, it is crazy because I talked to Shannon last year, and she talked about it how Mike told her this is kind of thing he did, and then she started coming around. And if you remember at San Diego Comic-Con, she came on stage when Mike won the belt, and then at Spectacular, that's what she said she was taking over, and she's just evolved. And then, like I said, go back to when she was doing those little clips and throwing them on Facebook where where they were wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. She's like, "What's up, nerds?" and things like that. It was some great stuff. Remember when she tried out for the Schmodown as a Gretchen? Like that was amazing. Then she was playing the ukulele. Like Shannon's committed to the Schmodown. It's so amazing. I really appreciate her. She's pretty awesome, and I think she's made the community better. She's made corruption better. I mean, she's only not had the Star Wars title. She's had the singles. She's had the teams. She's had the IG. She has the singles right now. She has the IG with the defense coming up soon. And she has a team still in the teams tournament that could get to the tags. So say what you want about Shannon Barty. She's amazing. She's really amazing. She puts a lot of work, and you see she's committed to her competitors and to the Schmodown. And I think a lot of people need to appreciate that from Shannon.
Totally, dude. And the crazy part is like, you said like deception, like, great performance in the teams tournament, but there is a dude who was one half of a team that almost spoiled the hell out of that. And we're going to bring my man in right now.
Hold on. The Cleveland Browns stand here with me. Gotta throw that in because I gotta throw love for my Cleveland boy.
Way to ruin my intro.
Hey, hold up a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Word. Okay. What's up, Nick Harley?
I swear to God, he's gonna come back in a Steelers.
Can you guys
jersey. I know him too well. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Is he gonna hear? Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can hear you
yeah.
great.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
What's
cool.
what's going on over in Lakewood, bro?
You hear those sirens?
Yep, that's exactly what I asked.
No. What's up? What's up? I appreciate being introduced as the Cleveland guy, but you cut my guy off here, Chris.
Whatever. I'll give you one hell of a send off, Nick. But
All
man,
I called it.
There we go.
Look.
I feel a little bit more dressed for Nick Harley. How you doing, Nick?
Oh, cool. Yeah, did you put your clown shoes on too, or?
Don't be taking me out, Matt. I mean, we won yesterday. I don't know what Cleveland did yesterday, but
We got screwed by refs.
Yeah, I'm not here to talk about that because that's a completely different show.
That's a whole different thing. Talking about some football. Granted, the Browns played one hell of a game yesterday, but Slick Nick, dude, holy shit, holy hell, dude! Like
my favorite competitor from the FCL.
Thank you.
My favorite competitor.
The inaugural champ. We're talking to the inaugural FCL champion. Let's not forget.
Me and Nick bust each other's balls, but I absolutely am a fan of his. He is absolutely amazing. He's proved himself to be part of the Schmodown. He's done a really good job. Obviously,
I was disappointed that I did not get the.
Go ahead, Nick. Sorry. I was responding to a comment. My bad.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And
no
worries.
There we go.
I appreciate it. I was disappointed that I didn't get the chance to see all of you guys in New York.
Yeah.
Couldn't
make it. We had to choose one or the other, and it's spectacular.
We lost them.
Oh no!
Actually, I didn't have to choose. Work screwed me over. I won tickets to New York.
You won tickets?
Yeah.
Like a raffle? Like, was there some?
Christian did a thing.
Oh, see, and here we are. We could have had a referee.
It is too damn hot in my house to wear a jersey right now.
All right.
I'm back.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
We got you.
No, you're good.
Don't apologize. You're fine, dude. Like, well, Nick. Dude.
Yeah, I was just saying that I was disappointed that I didn't get to see you guys in New York, but I'm sure we'll get a chance to meet in person here soon.
Well, I've already met you, luckily.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna kiss him right on the forehead when I see him. But Nick, you had one hell of a showing. Like, to me, in that Deception Chaos Theory match, like, you were the talking point of that match. We knew what we expected out of Marisol. We knew what we expected out of Adam Collins. Same thing for Jacoby Bancroft. He's had some great matches and great performances this year. But you, sir, in this Chaos Theory match, like, you had, like, people were like, "Oh my God, Slick Nick, he was so good. Nick Harley was so good in this match. I want to see more of him later." Even though, like, you came out in the losing end, how was the reception for you to get your flowers after this?
The reception was cool. It was very nice. I really appreciated it. It was very, very cool to meet everybody this weekend, which I'm sure we'll talk about here in a second, and to have like everyone. It was nice that the match aired Thursday before we all got into New York on Friday, because it was like fresh in everybody's mind, and everybody was like, "Oh, dude, you played a killer match yesterday," and I was like, "Well, it was filmed a while ago, but like, thank you, I appreciate it." It was everybody was very cool about it. Obviously, like, you want to win, you want everybody saying nice things about you after you get a win, but I'll take the kind words anytime from folks. Yeah, it really definitely made it a little easier to swallow, knowing that people enjoyed it, and just feeling like I kind of had a moment, especially like coming from the FCL. I think that you have a little bit of I had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. Like, I didn't want to just be known as the FCL guy. I know that people had their question marks about whether I was actually like legit or not, and it feels like I kind of silenced some of those folks a little bit. So that felt really good.
No, and I bet, dude, like, the fact that, like, and we've been chatting it up since, like, you were rocking in the FCL, but since you jumped over, made that transition into the Schmodown, into the main league, like folks have been wondering, especially for you, because you had that championship winning performance, and not too many folks in the FCL can even say that they've had that type of performance. But you made that transition, and they put you with Jacoby Bancroft, and he's had himself a great year as well, especially both y'all being rookies. But what was the vibe going into Deception? Because obviously both of y'all are aware of like the whole Marisol McKee of it all, the whole Adam Collins of it all. Like, how is it going to face them in your first match of this tournament?
Yeah, I think right off the bat we were just like, we knew we were gonna have to play well. I mean, we knew we had to show up, and you know, I had just got done playing Paul Oyama, so it was I definitely was like ready for the competition. So yeah, I think that it brought the best. You know, when you play good competitors, it brings the best out of you. So we definitely took them incredibly seriously. Really looked at the game tape and tried to game plan for things that we thought that they might put on the wheel, and in the process, I feel like I have like a whole bunch of new strengths now because of that. So thank you, Marisol and Adam, and yeah, I liked playing against them, just because I knew that, you know, it was gonna take a lot to beat them, and we went into that match thinking that they were gonna go perfect in the first round, perfect in the second round, perfect in the third round, and so we were just like, look, we gotta hang, we gotta do anything that we can to hang in there with them, and we did, you know, we did through 3 rounds, so that's you know, overtime is what it is, and it's I definitely do not blame Jacoby at all, who is, like, as everyone knows, is just like a complete beast and is so good at this game. Sometimes you just get one that you don't know, and yeah, I think it was a bitter pill to swallow. Obviously, you don't want to get that close and then have it fall apart, but at the same time, you know, I feel like we did what we could, and we played well, and you know, who knows, maybe I will get the chance to play both Adam and Marisol someday again. So, and I would welcome the opportunity.
So yeah, for sure. Go ahead, Matt.
Nick, I got a question for you. So we all know New York was this past Saturday, your Friday through Saturday for you. So there's something you tweeted out that I feel like needs to be talked about, because what's this?
Oh, yeah. What's this?
Contemplating new representation?
Excuse me?
You know,
I didn't see this.
You know, I ran into the representative for the Ranger, Taylor Cleek, and yeah, I ran into him. He was looking to see if he could sign, you know, some of the folks that dress up as like Elmo or like the Transformers and stuff in Times Square. You know, he was scouting new talent. And I ran into him there, and we had a discussion. And it's not to say that I will be making any moves in the near future, but you know, just my phone is on, folks, and so you know, I'm open to discussions. You know, we'll see what happens.
There you go. Now, Nick, like I said, you're one of my favorite competitors coming out of the FCL. How's it been? You know, just kind of now that you're, I mean, unless something comes up, I'm assuming the season's kind of done for you this year. Overall, going from the FCL to character change to now you're in the Schmodown.
Yeah,
you get to compete. You know, you got to do a tease match that you won. You lost to Paul Yama, now you lost to Deception. I mean, that's not bad. If you lost to like Chris or Matt, I would be like, oh my god,
excuse me.
But wow. You know, you lost to great players.
Wow. Yeah,
kind of reflect on the end of the year for you. Like, what was your overall just thoughts of like I said, going from the FCL to the Schmodown?
Yeah, man, trial by fire a little bit, you know, because I don't want to take anything away from Vinny and Jen either, because they're great too. I mean, I think both of them are great competitors as well. But yeah, like a little bit of a trial by fire situation, but fun, absolutely fun. Like as someone that was following the league, these are the people that we consider to be the stars of the league. So to get in and get matches against them right away, it's like that's ideal. There were certain, I know some people they didn't get booked at all. They were drafted and didn't get any matches booked at all. So I'm not gonna complain because I had to face Paul Oyama. I'm not going to complain because I had to face deception. I'm very lucky to have the opportunity to play against those folks. I know that you guys had a guest on your show recently. The pissant. Excuse me. No, the tyrant, not the pissant.
Wow.
Who was he was complaining. Oh, hold on, I'm getting a call here. I gotta. Oh, sorry about that.
You're good.
He was saying that people need to respect the fact that he had to play Viviani. So I'll say the same thing. You guys better respect the fact that I had to play Deception and Paul Oyama. No, I'm just kidding. I love that guy, Ty Lieberman. I'll catch strays from Ty Lieberman anytime. I've been catching a few, but I'll take him. I think that guy's hilarious. So that's
I think that was your problem. You didn't get your favorite real slice.
Didn't get my favorite slice. No, like that's another thing too. I'm very. Some people would say like, oh man, that sucks. You've got an opponent's choice. Like I played 6 matches this year. I got opponent's choice in 4 of them, and for me, it's like I know, right? For me though, there's a little bit of like I still think I've played 6 matches and I still don't think that there's tape out there on me about what I might like and what I might actually be really good at. I still don't think people have seen that. So that's fun. I'm happy that if I am privileged enough to come back next year in the MTS, that there's still going to be the same question marks about strengths and weaknesses for me as there were this year when I came to the league. So I got that going for me.
That's the crazy part too. Like, and shout out to ASG in the chat. The last rookie to have their year-end losing to Oyama had a pretty good sophomore year, so just put that on the ether. But I remember I asked Nick, like, hey man, like, what are your actual? Oh, please. No, please, Nick.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, she's had a very good sophomore year. I've now become the second favorite Schmodown competitor in my household because my girlfriend was with me this weekend, and she is a huge Marisol McKee fan now. She's like, I need to buy a shirt. I need a Lady Justice shirt like right now. So when I talked to Marisol, I'm like, well, thank you, because now I'm not even the favorite competitor
in my own
household, my own house. So.
Word, dude, and that's the crazy part is like Nick had a point. Like no one knows what he likes. Like I remember I asked Nick, like, "Hey man, what are you actually good at?" He told me to spin again. It was weird as hell. Oh, but the fact that you've had so much success this year and you've had the odds pinned against you 4 out of 6 times, like and look at the talent that you're playing. Like you mentioned in the movie Trivia Schmodown, you jumped into this. You're like, all right, what's my first match? Oh yeah, you got Vinny Mancuso and Jen Kim. It's like, oh damn, like they're actually they're pretty good, you know. It's like, oh, you got Paulo Yama. Yes. Oh hey, like he's pretty good. Then you got Deception, and they're one of the best teams rocking right now, you know. And that was just your second teams match, which is that's a testament to you and Jacoby. Like y'all were killing it as a team.
Absolutely.
And
but
like that's a testament to y'all.
The only person that came in and had maybe has a claim to have had a tougher slate, a tougher sledding than me is Jacoby. Like Jacoby had just as tough of booking as I did, and so yeah, I mean, you can look at it one way and say like, oh man, I could be, maybe if I came in and as a rookie and I got booked similarly to the Rager Rick Radis, like maybe I would be in a very different place right now. Or you can look at it and say like, well, at the same time, someone at the top thinks that I'm capable of handling this match. And I know that, seeding worked into the tournament stuff to a degree, but I wouldn't have been put in the tournaments if Roxy didn't think that I could do it. And, I don't think I would have been booked like with those matches if somebody who's booked booking those matches didn't think I could hang. So that's great. That's a vote of confidence. So I appreciate that.
For sure. I mean, obviously you got the vote of confidence because you are, the first FCL champion. Did you got to hold the belt like one time, right? Like you got to take a picture with it and that was it? Or do you still have it?
No.
You didn't
I
even
didn't
get a picture with
I didn't
it?
get to touch it.
What
I haven't even seen it. Well, I know what it looks like, but yeah, you didn't even get a picture of it.
I was on that call. He did not. No, that went straight to the Flirtenflaus.
Straight to the Flaus. Yeah. And the most fucked up part about it was that I had to pay the international booking fees to send it to him.
What FCL could Brad couldn't cover that either?
No, it was part of his punishment.
Money?
It was part of his punishment for giving Flaus the title.
Punishment?
Yeah.
Like that was his choice in the contract. They didn't read it.
Yeah, but Brad was like, "Look, Nick, shipping the belt is on you." And he's like, "Look, I've been spending too much money on expensive suits and hair products, and so you got to help me out and ship this belt over."
And you told Brad, you're like, "Yo, I was gonna buy your book, but instead I'm gonna pay for this damn shipping. So it sucks to suck." Like that's totally valid.
I do have to say, so I met Brad Gilmore in person this weekend, which he is an absolute delight. He's so great. All jokes aside, Brad is awesome. I found out that we're the same age, which just made me feel like just like a child and like a piece of I'm like, this guy has himself together so well, and I'm just like a overgrown man baby.
Yep.
But it was really cool. The Fury and Wilder match was on Saturday night, and Brad's like, when he's not doing stuff for the Schmodown and the FCL. Those of you that know that Brad is like highly involved in UFC and wrestling and boxing. So like to get to stand next to Brad during that match and get like expert, it was like I had someone calling the match like right over my shoulder, like giving me all the details, like, hey, Fury put on like an extra like 18 pounds for this match, so he's a little slower than he would normally be, and like just getting the expert analysis and to see somebody like doing what they do for free right next to you. That was pretty cool. That definitely one of the highlights of the trip, honestly. So that was fun.
I've never been so fun to watch that fight with Brad. If you didn't get to watch that fight was just a knockout, drag out, beating the crap out of each other. I got to watch some of it. I was too busy watching the Dodgers win because I'm a Dodger fan. Yeah. Which is weird. Why I'm a Steelers fan. People ask me that all the time, but
because you're a front runner, we'll get it.
No. I don't go there. Don't go there, Nick. God damn you. But what you're talking about for next year, we obviously know the factions are going to be kind of cut down. But if Christian says, look, dude, there's going to be factions, but you're going to be able to be like almost like a lone wolf, just kind of playing your own thing. Is that in the cards for you? Like, do you want to be by yourself or do you want to be part of a faction? What do you think benefits you more?
Let me say this, that being a part of the Stars has helped me up my game dramatically. Being able to study with people like Jacoby and Janine and Christy V and Felix and all of the great faction mates that I have has really helped me be able to step up my game. So I definitely think that there is a huge advantage to being in a faction and having people to sort of meet with regularly and study and really just talk shop and strategy. Like it's really great to be able to get on a phone call with Jacoby, and sometimes we don't even study. Sometimes we're just talking about the other matches or doing watch alongs and holding each other accountable in that way. So being a part of a faction is definitely advantageous for me. But that being said, it's not like I don't know how to be a solo competitor, because that's what the FCL was. I was doing it on my own. I was doing all right, I like to think. So
I mean, you were the champs. You were the champs.
Yeah. So that doesn't Thank you. So that doesn't scare me that much. But I think that maybe there's some other people that would be afraid of being on their own after being a part of a faction system for so long. But I'm not one of those folks. So if I have to be a lone wolf and a solo operator, so be it. That's what I'll do. But yeah, I would absolutely take advantage of being on a faction if that opportunity was presented to me. And obviously, I joke about the photo with Taylor. Like, if Roxy wants to, I would stay with Roxy in a heartbeat. I know that for some reason, folks on YouTube don't think much of her, but you folks are don't know what you're talking about at all. She's one of the best as far as managers go, and yeah. So if whether I'm playing for Roxy or I'm playing for somebody else or I'm playing alone, I just want to play.
Yeah, for sure.
It can be argued that even if you're a lone wolf, you're not a lone wolf because that leaves you to do whatever the hell you want to do. Like,
yeah,
you could study with people who are on factions. You can study with people who aren't on factions, form your own alliances, things like that.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, it's like I don't really want to expose. I don't want too many people to know what I'm good at, what I'm bad at. And, I don't want people to really know like how I study and it's funny, like Jacoby and I don't know if I've like actually had this conversation with him. Like, I want to stay. Like, let me put the record straight. Like, I would like to play with Jacoby again. I think Chaos Theory should move forward. But if we don't, I'm like worried that Jacoby knows too much. He knows too many secrets at this point. He knows he like, for all I know, Jacoby's gonna be on like the Mercs next year, and he's gonna be like, guys, I know exactly how to beat Nick Harley. Like, so there's that fear. Like, you don't want to spread yourself around that much. I mean, I'm sure there are people like Apollo Yama or like a Bibiani or Brendan Meyer that they're so good they don't have holes. They don't have to worry about that. They could study with anyone and they're confident. But like for me, like I would rather keep my cards a little close to the best if we can.
I would love to see you with Gucci and then the spoiler character come back. I think that would be freaking amazing.
That would be that.
If you hung out with Gucci, oh my!
You hung out with Gucci this weekend.
I hung out with Gucci at the cantina. Let me tell you, it's hilarious. The guy, makes me laugh so hard.
Some people, it's really funny. Like I don't want to talk too much about New York, but some people they carry themselves one way on camera, and then you get the chance to meet them in person, and you're like, wow, you're nothing like how you are like in the Schmodown. Like you're so much different. Shannon, who was just on the show, I don't, if I'm bursting Shannon's bubble a little bit, like Shannon is so nice. Like I was so intimidated, like when you're on screen against her and she's like giving you the business.
Sorry, I know why this is being said.
Shannon is so nice. She's so great. And then, but Dagnino, that guy is exactly who he is when he's not on. He is the same guy. So yeah, that's I would love to. I think the exchange, like it was funny. It was so funny being there this weekend and going up to everybody and telling them like, hey, I'm like a fan of yours, and I mean it. Like I am a fan of everyone. I was cheering for anytime anyone got a question right, like I was probably cheering the loudest out of the competitors. I was cheering for everybody because I was like, yeah, we're like in factions and we have teammates and I'm supposed to not like certain people, but like at the end of the day, like we're all in this weird thing together, and I'm just a fan. Like I appreciate everybody's game, so it was so fun to get to meet everybody and just tell them like, hey, at the end of the day, like I know you and I might face each other and I might say mean things about you to build the matchup, but at the end of the day, like everyone should know that I legitimately respect what you do and love when you see somebody like Griffin Newman or Marisol McKee just like absolutely crush it. Like it's fun to watch.
Was that your first live event, Nick?
Yeah, it was my first time seeing the Schmodown live. So yeah, and hopefully the first of many. So
right. How was it being at that show? Because I know like everyone's talking about Spectacular as they should. That's the WrestleMania. It's the big one, you know. But this New York show is real. It was a real like test to see how the crowds would be and a lot of the logistical business stuff, whatever. But as a fan, like how we all are, and you got to be there. How was the environment? How was it like not only your first show, but the first pandemic show where it was a bunch of people in a room and hearing Christian do entrances and all that jazz? How was it just being there?
Man, it's electric. It's so and the crowd's energy was so good. I feel like everyone feels the same as I do. Like even though people, you know, may stand corruption like yourself or maybe a den shill like Suge. At the end of the day, you have appreciation for everybody. I don't want to speak for you, but like I feel like you guys probably feel the same way, and so you can feel that just like the love and respect and like I said, just completely electric. So much fun. It was a great room. The theater was great, and yeah, it just got me really really excited about Spectacular. You know, hopefully we'll be seeing Damon play for the Star Wars belt, and we'll be seeing Janine get another shot at Marisol. You know, best case scenario, those are the matches we'll see, and I'm hyped for those. So
I bet, dude.
Nick, there was something else that happened. A little Twitter exchange between you and Harloff Friday when you were making your. Yeah. You flew first class, but needed a comp ticket.
All right, I'll break the illusion. I'll break kayfabe here. My girlfriend's dad is a frequent flyer, and he got us upgraded to first class. Very nice of him. And so we were there, and I was like, you know, this will be funny for like a little video to like to hype the event and just let people know that I'm going to be there. And you know, I feel like Slick Nick, you know, he flies first class for sure. Right. So I filmed that video, and you know, you put your phone in airplane mode, and I land, and I turn my phone back on, and I see that I have like a lot of notifications. And Harloff is saying, you know, you needed a comp ticket, and like my first reaction was like, oh my god, I just blew it with the boss. Like how do I explain myself here? Like and in the moment I just thought like I'm just gonna try and keep it going, and I just said like, you know, hey man, you're breaking kayfabe, like, you know. And luckily when I saw Harloff later that evening, after he crushed his stand-up set, you know, he was like, hey, I was just messing with you. You're good. And I was like, all right, I was hoping so, because otherwise, yeah, like.
So you want to tell us about your time with Jeff Alterman?
Jeff tried to kill me Friday night.
Excuse me?
He's like, I don't know. He didn't tell me this, but in retrospect on Saturday morning, I was like, Jeff was trying to give me so many shots so that I would not be able to physically show up on Saturday. But I did, Jeff. You can't kill me. I'm Irish. I'll drink until I can't stand up.
That explains the red beard. I can tell you from talking to him earlier, he'll be in our neck of the woods soon, and he wants to do that again.
Yes, I would love to do that. This time it's my chance to try and
kill
Jeff.
I'm gonna kill the quiz. My man's out here trying to. Oh my god!
Pop the quiz.
Pop the quiz. But dude, Nick, you've had what a year, dude! Not even a full year. It's been what, like 6-7 months.
Yeah, FCL started April. FCL started in April,
right. and I played like what, week 2 or 3.
Yep. So literally 6 months.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, and I played 6 matches. I think I had a match every month, which is which is different and sort of unique. Like I was able to kind of keep the skills sharp and like sort of keep just building on each match. You know, I'm like I've said this before. I feel like I'm twice as good as I was when I played for that FCL championship. And I know people will say like, oh, the questions, blah, blah, blah. But you know, it took skill. It took a lot of skill there. It still does. And it's, you know, since then I've only gotten better. So it's been a lot of fun. That being said, I am excited a little bit to have some time off, you know, get to watch some TV a little bit, not feel guilty about it.
No TV.
No TV? What? Come on.
Why can't you watch TV?
There's nothing worth it on TV currently.
No. Oh man, Succession's about to start up. I got screeners, guys.
Okay. Hey, you get those screeners. I'll stick to the screeners I get.
Okay, so we're just is that what this show's turned into? Just flexing our screeners? Okay.
By the way,
I won't do that.
Nick,
no.
By the way, I got some extra passes to a certain slasher tomorrow night if you can make it.
Oh.
Nick's not flexing the screener, so let the chat know Nick's not flexing Matt.
Well, yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk afterwards. But
for the record,
I am back on the list for the Cleveland. I got invited to the last duel the other day, so I'm like, okay, cool. I'm back. I'm back on the.
Were you at the screening the other day? Because I
wasn't able to make it, but I did get the email, so I was like, all right, back on the list. Like, because I moved to Boston. And so when I left, I was like, hey, you guys can take me off the Cleveland like list for screeners. And then I moved back during the pandemic and I forgot to get back on the list, and I'm back, baby. So we'll see each other we'll have to communicate on those more often. But yes. I don't mean to brag about getting screeners, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I deal with it enough with him.
Chris has benefited. He's just playing around. He's benefited a few times himself.
Sure. But Nick, before we let you go, man, just now that everything's come to an end, you know, you wrapped up your first season, technically your rookie season, even though it's not a full year, but again, we'll cry about that later. Like, what's been your biggest takeaway from this? Like, from a guy that like you were in the developmental league, right? And I use that loosely because a lot of them folks are really good. Yourself being one of them. Like, you went there, you got to pick up halfway through this regular season, and you played some of the best folks who've ever played this game on the internet. Like, what was your biggest takeaway from the movie Trivia Schmodown from your first year?
The biggest takeaway was that I know I wouldn't have gotten to the MTS if I didn't have the ability to at least be like an entertaining presence as a competitor. Like I think the spoiler thing was really interesting because when it started, everybody was like, "This is a stupid gimmick. I don't like this. Who is this guy?" And then by the time that I made it to the MTS and it was sort of revealed that the spoiler wouldn't be moving forward, everybody was like, "No, we love that guy. We love the spoiler. We love that gimmick." And it's like, I was able in a short 3 months to convince folks that like this guy that, you know, they hated, then they started to like it a little bit, you know, like, so that was interesting to be able to know like, okay, at least I have that portion. I have that tool. The second biggest question was like, can I hang from a trivia standpoint? I felt like I could, but I wouldn't know until I was tested. And I think even though my last match ended with a loss, just being able to take competitors like Marisol and Adam, two people that I, you know, have a lot of respect for, being able to take them to the limit, let me know, like, and then to get the reaction that I did from all the fans and people like you guys, it allowed me to say like, okay, I belong here. Like I can hang. And so it definitely kept the fire lit. And I really, really want to play next year. You know, like I know that things are up in the air as far as who's going to end up where and how everything's going to shake out. But if I have it my way, you will be seeing much more of Slick Nick in the MTS. So
Hell
Well
yeah,
said,
dude.
well
One hell of a first year, especially for a dude who watched TV a ton before he started watching some movies. So shout out to Nick Harley. Whether you see him spoiling stuff or
had
he's
never
just
seen a
slinging it
movie.
back.
Had
Never seen a movie.
Definitely didn't see Space Jam
wait.
2 with me.
Take that? Can I take that? Can I take? Yeah, I'll take that question back. It was pretty wild watching my first movie in the year of 2021, and I feel like I've just come such a long way. I've seen so many now.
Right. Who knew there were so many movies? Who would have known? Like that would have been
I didn't know.
One hell of a revelation.
Yeah.
Would have been helpful for someone to tell me before I got involved with this that there were so many movies. I had no idea.
No idea.
You know, well, now you know. Now you know, and you did pretty damn good at
I
it.
know.
And hopefully we'll see more of you in the future. Everybody, Slick Nick Harley, much love to you, brother. Congrats on your first season. Hopefully we'll see more of you, and hopefully, you know,
Thank
we'll
you
see
guys.
soon.
Yes. Nick, love you, buddy. Go Browns.
Love you. Yeah, go Browns. That clown Suge. Like, can we roast? Like,
No,
I know you guys are probably.
He's feeling under the weather right now. That's why
Okay.
he signed off.
Oh, word.
He hit the Facebook chat.
I'm just saying this time next year, we're going to, you know, he's a Steelers fan this year. Next year, he's going to be wearing a Chargers jersey and he's going to be saying, oh, I've always been a Chargers fan.
Hey, Nick, it's all right. You want to know why? Because on Halloween, we're going to get a treat and he's going to get a trick. So
he is. Yeah. He's feeling sick, you said?
Yeah, he's feeling sick.
Oh, man. So, he might get laid up in the ICU next to Juju.
Ooh!
Oh, no.
Oh, is that too much? Is that too far?
Slick Nick Harley coming in hot.
Slick.
That's something. Hold on. That's something.
The spoiler.
The
spoiler came out. We got to take him out. We got to take him out. Have a good one.
All right. Goodbye.
Later, Nick. Be good, brother. Nick Harley.
Oh, my God.
Nick.
Oh, my God. Shout
out to Slick Nick Harley. Oh dear God! What a way to poo on
a great. He was doing great, and then he's like, I'm gonna take this shot real quick.
I love talking to Nick. Yep, and he just one head of the three-headed dragon that is Spin from the Real. But big love to Shannon, Barney, and the Slick Nick who come on the program. Love talking to the both of them. Always love talking to Nick, and obviously first time talking to Shannon, that was pretty nuts. But I know we've kind of glossed over all the matches and talked about some deeper more than others, but just give me your gist of the pay-per-view. Because I know we barely talked Nooms Horowitz, and that talk about
Griffin Newman, if he beats Page, has solidified himself as the number 2 prospect. Or will have solidified himself as the number 2 prospect for Rookie of the Year. Right now, he is number 2. He is number 2. I'd say it goes Harper, Newman, then Amaru, depending on how he does in this next match.
I think Moses, right.
And then you got to go Page, Rager, Animal, depending on who wins Rager, Animal.
I would throw Goal Leader into that, too.
Goal Leader's in there, too. Mm-hmm. But the reason I say Rager, Animal is because if that's the case, and let's be honest, this will probably be both of their last matches of the year. They'll both be undefeated. Right. You factoring that into it, you got to put them in that mix.
Sure.
But Newman was just dominant. Horowitz is still in the mix also, but you know how people are going to look. How did all the rookies do? Oh, you got a couple undefeated, 3 undefeated ones possibly. So that's all going to factor into it.
And there's still, and a lot of these rookies that we're still talking about are still playing. They still got stuff going on. Like you mentioned, Rick Radis, he has his match with Frankie Alvarez, another rookie, in a couple weeks. Next weekend, the undercard to Moses and the Kalinowski. And like Goal Leader just beat Joseph Scrimshaw, another great W in Goal Leader's rookie season. You know, of course, Thomas Harper's at the top, going through the tournament, beating some great folks, winning the belt, beating Andrew DiMolanta. Page for Betty, breaking my heart in the process with some great wins this year. Rager fist bumped me on camera. That bonus Rookie of the Year points. Shots William Harold. I hope you washed your hands after that. You don't know where them hands been. But there's a lot of great rooks. But Griffey Nooms, he's been talk about folks who lived up to their potential. When he got drafted first round this year, folks are like, what? Like, what? Like what?
Everybody who wasn't in our little thing we had going on that night was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was nuts, and a lot of folks didn't know who he was, He's one of those like the celebrities that came into this, but it's deeper than that. Like the celebrity, and I use that word loosely, players that came in did some great stuff. Look at Josh Horowitz.
Sure.
Let's not judge this performance by Josh Horowitz again. Everyone
has a rough match. Like I said, he's still
man was at Comic-Con all day.
And then he had to brush over there. It's not like he had that prep time like a lot of players do going into the match.
Right.
I mean, it's not like he was Flickinger.
Wasn't not busy, but you know what I mean.
It's not like he was Flickinger.
Dude, back-to-back shows we just shit on Flickinger. Like, why?
I wasn't here last week. I didn't know.
Oh, last week, the Tyrant and King Khan went nuts. Leo Logan. First of all, William Harold. You had sanitizer. Good. That's good. Leo Logan. He said he felt bad for Horowitz after the KO loss.
Yep,
Who doesn't feel bad for someone who wants to get KO'd, especially in that live setting, the first live match in New York. The first big live show once this whole pandemic shit started. Not counting the Cantina ones, of course. But this first big live show, and that's how the first one happened. And Sean Wingley in the chat, I'm so glad Griffey lived up to the hype on stage. He owned the presence, and it was great to see. Rookie of the Year is more about just wins and losses and titles. Facts.
Yes.
You nailed it right in the head, Sean. I'm so glad you did. Speaking of FCL, check out Sean Wingley. He's doing some great stuff, too.
Yep. But the presence, that's another reason I put, like, right, that's why Thomas, like, if you want to count presence, that's why I put Rager in that conversation.
Totally. Right.
But speaking of his presence, did you notice what's happened over the last day or so with Frankie Alvarez's Twitter?
Oh, I saw it all this morning. Like it all popped up my feed. So
I got an email saying I need to play this video or else this entire channel is going to disappear. So let's roll the tape.
Oh, it feels so good to be 2-0, Daddy-O. I can't wait to go 3-0, Daddy-O. Oh, hello there. It's so good to see you. Now, ordinarily, I'd be upset that you interrupt me in such a precious, private moment, but I think this is ideal. I think this is perfect. See, there's been a disconnect between Rick Radis and the people. I understand that. I've heard since I've started, we want to get to know Rick. We want to get to know the Rager. Let's get this guy a Twitter account. And I've been letting some other numbskull do the social media for me for quite some time, but I thought it was time to reach you personally. That's what I'm going to do. Rick Radis has started a Twitter account, but if you're going to bring somebody as important and as significant as the Rager to Twitter, we don't start from scratch. We don't start from zip. No way, Jose. So why just get my own Twitter account when I could take one and make it even better? So I've taken, what's his name? Francis Alvarez. I've taken his Twitter and I've made it much better. I've made it my own. And I've made it a one-way access between you and the Rager Rick Radis. Welcome. Follow me. Tweet me. DM me. But nothing too inappropriate. Okay, I ain't got time for that. Welcome to what is now the Rager's Twitter. Get used to it. And no loser behavior like Mr. Frankie Alvarez. Rub-a-dub-dub, baby! Let's rage.
That felt so dirty to watch.
For those of you who don't know what we just watched, that is the video that the first thing the Rager tweeted from Frankie Alvarez's Twitter after he took over it. I was told to play this because Rager's got some dirt on me. Anyways.
Excuse me?
Anyways.
First of all, I love unsolicited Rick pics. I love this so much. That's hilarious. Yes, Jeremy, I'm also really scared of that video. Thursday, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. And yes, I feel like every time I see the Rager, it's awfully provocative, and I'm not like.
He wasn't wearing it. I don't think he was wearing a shirt on Saturday. I'm really sure
he just channel. He was in the bathtub, probably in that same bathtub. So I'm I don't know he's in Nick's bathtub. How about that? That's one hell of a wow. Nick, that's a conversation for us to have later. But Rick Radis, good luck, dude. Frankie's nothing to play with, and that's next Friday. We'll see that undercard. Moses Kalinowski in the main event. It's gonna be one hell of a pay-per-view, and we'll have a Shmo Me the Real for that. You already know. We're gonna talk about some Alvarez Rager on top of Moses Kalinowski. But in regards to the whole Rookie of the Year conversation, of course, Griffey Nooms and Paige Verbetti, who we now know are going to play each other in the singles tournament. Yes. And that's going to be one hell of a match. Paige coming off of the Bateman win. Nooms knocking out Horowitz at a live show in New York. It was almost like the perfect scenario for Nooms. Getting like the Pixar slice really screwing over Horowitz. It was rough.
That jacket bit was a nice touch.
And it was, I'm telling you, that's why it was perfect. It was the perfect situation. And you can't, I mean, you can stage that, but judging by the reaction, it's not. And the live crowd ate it up,
Can we talk about how he dropped an F-bomb and the crowd freaked out at him?
Yeah, because you can't do that. Like, granted, News probably didn't get the memo. Or Rager told him he can slip one, but the whole match or the half match that we saw, it was reassuring to Nooms' case for where he should be labeled for the rest of the year, and also adds more credence to King Arthur. Last week we had King Khan on the show. Shout out to King Khan and to the Tyrant Ty Lieberman for coming on the program, but King Khan's on the play with either. And if I'm not mistaken, with how the bracket lines up, do King Arthur and Deception play each other now?
Yep. They play each other. King Arthur versus Deception.
So that's gonna be nuts, Like, I think Griffey Nooms has a bright future, and he may quickly overtake Thomas Harper for the whole Rookie of the Year conversation.
If he can win the tournament and then win the title, he's gonna.
If he wins both tournaments, like I think that's even a conversation that we can have. But the whole thing with Griffey Nooms this year, and I mentioned this last week when talking to the members of the Exchange, like they all had something to prove, and I think a majority of them, if not all of them, that we've gotten to see this year, have lived up to that hype, or have overtaken all the shit that they've gotten over the last 10 months, ever since they were drafted. And Griffey Nooms is Exhibit A, and same thing for King Khan, same thing for Rick Radis. Like, trust me, like I don't like watching that dude bathe either, but you got to give his flowers where
at least we know he's bathing. At least we know he's bathing.
At least we know he bathes. Thank God. But I love seeing Griffey Nooms, especially in front of a crowd. Griffey Nooms, that was the perfect decision by Christian. I don't know if it just lined up schedule-wise or if that was his choice. But him and Mark having Nooms and Horowitz play each other, it's a great decision in front of a live crowd. That's where that should have been. It was a great place for it in front of a few hundred people. Jeremy Miller in the chat, Griffey and Barbarian might have one entrance of the year with Barbarian carrying him. Yeah, dude. The costume change for round 2 from Brian. That was one hell of a showcase. And that was just the undercard. That's just the first thing we saw from that show. And then the main event, of course, with Ellison and McKee. And when we talked to Shannon earlier, yeah, it was rough for Corruption because we knew one of them was going to lose. And on the show last week, Suge and I, and Matt, I bet you had the same sentiment of Marisol, you wanting Marisol to retain.
Yes.
And we see the match. It's a good one. I think the final score was 21-20. It was close, but Marisol retaining it again. It's validating to see these folks retain a belt regardless of division. We don't see that too often, and I love the emotion from both squads. This is real, y'all. These are real people. And I know we get caught up in the characters and in the personalities. Trust me, I do love me a good personality. But these are real folks who spend a lot of time with each other, talk to each other probably every day, and they're playing each other in front of hundreds of people in New York, and it's a really good match. It's very, very well played, and love seeing spoof movies. Not to tease Will Slice of the Week, but love seeing spoofs for Chance and Marisol slaying Meryl Streep as she should, because we saw her in that exhibition. But I know we didn't do Show Me the Real, but Matt, what were your thoughts on the main event, dude? Ellison McKee.
I kind of gave my thoughts a little bit earlier about Sammy. I love seeing two players of color playing for the title, and I'm glad to see that Marisol retained, because I know my girlfriend was excited to finally see a female champion outside of Rich Cushing and IG and Rachel Cushing and Clark Wolf and teams, because that's the only division, that and Star Wars, where we haven't had a female champion yet. So to finally have that happen, I want to see this ride out as long as it can. If she does end up playing Griffey Nooms in Spectacular, my allegiances match change a little bit. But yeah, I loved it. And Brian, Marisol was 2-2, played great in all the matches. I can't put her in contention for comeback player of the year. That's comeback players like you had a year like Adam Collins is having. If Adam Collins has the year he had last year, next year, that's comeback player of the year. But Marisol, she came in with hype. She was traded for Shannon's first 2 picks. I can't sit here and say she's a comeback player of the year because she had the hype coming into it.
Of course. There's a ton of hype, and a lot of us, and I hope majority of us, knew how good she was. And yeah, don't get me wrong, Spin from the Real loves them a good comeback. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted.
I was about to say.
I don't think she'd even qualify. Not that she had a bad year last year. She still performed really well last year when we got to see her. I would think comeback like a JTE comes to mind, a Mara Kanopik comes to mind, like players like that, where they've been, like what Matt was saying, they've been away for a minute. They came
or they had a really bad season last year.
Or they had a really bad season and they performed really well. And both the players I just mentioned performed really well when we got to see them. Mm-hmm. And that's the key question, Corey, in the chat. What would she be coming back from? Like a 2-2 season? Like that. Folks are lucky to get a 2-2 season now, let alone in your rookie season. So I understand your sentiment, Brian. I totally do. Sean in the chat, rooting for Lauren Page. Let the ladies rule spectacular. That'd be pretty epic too. I'd love to see Page win this damn singles tournament. It gets harder as it goes. Obviously, now she has Nooms and whoever's on the opposite side of the bracket. Like you still got folks like Brendan Meyer who's doing perfect games casually. Mm-hmm. You know, like there's like it's gonna get harder and harder, and
we still don't have an updated version of that bracket. They showed it during the live event, but they couldn't show it. They can't give us one in the Facebook group apparently.
Maybe we have to wait till it's on the YouTube. So who knows? Or when Christian wants to tweet it out. But it's gonna be very interesting how the rest of the singles tournament pans out, because honestly, I'm jonesing to see how this pans out. Like, if you had asked me a long time ago, like I had certain names I had going to the finals and winning, and now like after the first round, all that's just like out the window, and it's something refreshing, something new, and I like new stuff. I like change. I like to see Brendan Meyer, win the tournament. I like to see Griffey Nooms. I'd love to see Paige or Betty win this whole damn thing. I like new stuff, and same thing for teams. Yeah. Deception, we've seen them before, but they could be playing Lightning Time. They could be playing Shazam. The Star Wars tournament, same thing. Like I want something refreshing, and this whole season's been like that, but especially in singles, to me right now, the field is getting tense. And that Marisol victory over Chance proved that not only is she beating top tier talent on a consistent basis, like that Ethan win was not a fluke. I don't want to hear that. Not saying anyone said that, but I don't want to hear that nonsense. She beat Chance. Chance one of the best players in the whole damn league, regardless of division. And now she's playing whoever wins that singles tournament. And that ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be easy. Like, because now it's win or go home. A lot of these folks, if they lose, they're done. And we're gonna get down to it. And I hope folks like Paige succeed. Or Sean also mentioned Laura. Laura has one hell of a matchup next with Gold Leader. It's been one hell of a match. That may be the most slept on match of the year out of all the stuff we have going on. And Marisol also hasn't had an easy opponent, including Kevin Smith. Right. Kevin Smith really brought it to her, too. So Marisol's had herself a great year. And she may be player of the year by the time we're done.
Yeah.
Like, overall, regardless of division.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of great stuff in the Schmodown this past week. A lot of corruption. A lot of Marisol. We saw, obviously, with Collins on Friday. So there's a lot of fun stuff. A lot of fun stuff going on. But seasons are ending fast.
Yes.
And there's only 2 months left in the season. I
was about to say, realistically, we know a lot of this stuff is probably filmed now or being filmed right in the next couple weeks or so. Realistically, there's a month left in the season, and then we got Spectacular.
Right. So like a lot of these folks may be sitting on their hands over the course of November just to play again in December. Who those people are, I guess we'll find out over the next few weeks. And Shug, it's okay, brother. You didn't feel all right. A man popped up in the chat. It's okay. No worries. Don't worry about
You're all good. You're all good, man.
I do want to do some wheel slides of the week because there are a lot of good ones, and then we'll obviously do our
I mean, we had the same one, which is spoof.
Well, no, like I want to spotlight. Obviously, Pixar for Griffey Nooms. Opponent's Choice. Shout out to Shug, his favorite wheel slide.
I'm about to say Opponent's Choice is realistically what Pixar was, because that is what Griffey Nooms gave Horowitz.
But that Chaos Theory Opponent's Choice, again, in typical Nick Harley fashion, he had to get the OC. I loved Street for Marisol. I felt good about that one. David Lynch for Brendan Meyer was a goodie. And I liked seeing Joseph really come back into form, even though he dropped down the multiple choice twice with Empire Strikes Back in that Star Wars match. And even, Gold Leader went perfect on Revenge. It was nice seeing Joseph still be like, oh, I'm pretty good at the Star Wars thing. I may need some help with some multiple choice, but he's still pretty damn good at what the stuff is. Leo Logan in the chat and Jeremy Miller both said Bruce Willis from Adam Collins' match with Brendan Meyer. Totally. There's some goodies. Over the weekend. Or shout out to Nooms. Nooms didn't even get one. Like that was the.
No, he had directors.
Right. He got directed. Like the damn. Like the directors with Nooms and the Pixar one's a good one. I'm gonna rock with. I'm gonna rock with Empire Strikes Back for Joseph Scrimshaw, just because I like seeing my man come back and still like Joseph Scrimshaw. Yeah, he may not play the game for the same reasons everybody else does, like what Shannon said, but I like seeing him. I agree. And William Harrell, Meryl Streep, totally gotta love it. It's a classic. It's a oldie but a goodie.
What's the woe about, Haskell? What's the woe about?
Is it my Revenge of the Sith pick?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, he resigned because he said some very ignorant shit.
Yeah, and don't be dumb. People are always watching. Someone's always watching you. Doesn't matter if it's an email or if it's in person. Someone's always watching. But yeah, do we have the matches announced for this week?
I don't think so. Actually, let me check.
I know our boy who was it? Was it William Harold? Someone in the chat earlier.
Checking the match schedule.
Mentioned Damon's match going up today.
Okay, hold on. We got it. The Damons are Wednesday, of course.
Yes.
Press Room versus the Old Guard on Thursday.
Ooh, okay.
And then Friday is Merle versus Harris.
Ooh, God. Okay, cool. We got Molly.
I got Damon.
Okay, Chris.
No, I got Alex.
I want Molly to win this so bad.
I want Molly to win. Let me preface that. I want her to win.
So
I just think Alex is going to be so damn hungry. He's going to play mad. He's playing angry.
Yeah. We went almost a whole year of Star Wars.
It's been about 6 months without seeing Alex Damon.
And Damon hasn't been the talk of the town. It's been Dima Lanta, both of them. It's been Thomas Harper. It's been Gold Leader. It's been Laura Kelly. It's a lot of folks besides Alex Damon. So I'm rooting for Molly, but if I had gun to my head, I'm picking Alex because it's hard not to pick against him. He's proven us wrong less than a handful of times. I mean, so is Molly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Screen Junkie Civil War. Who do you got? Was it Thursday? Press Room and the Old Guard. I
got Press Room. I love PG. I forget who her teammate is, but I do love
the Old Guard is Duralde and Riley.
No, I thought it was PG and Duralde.
Unless the chat can prove me otherwise.
Who's Old Guard? Who's Old Guard? Because
I'm pretty sure it's Riley and Duralde. If
Leo Logan, where you at?
If I misspeak, then excuse me.
Leo Logan, where you at? Well, no, I got
it's
Press
Riley.
Room. Okay,
Thank
it is
you.
Riley.
It's Duralde and Riley. Yes.
Yeah. I still got Press Room. Riley and Perry cancel each other out because they can both be streaky, but Perry's been a much stronger player over the last year or so. And then Horowitz is going to rebound after this shaky performance in New York. I expect that. It was circumstance. He didn't get to prep and study like he normally would. I don't think that's going to be the case here. So I got Press Room here.
I was really high on Duralde. Like how
I'm still high on Duralde.
When he got drafted. And yes, he's very, very good. He didn't play as much this year. Same thing for Riley. Riley didn't play too much this year. And
breaking news, Frankie Alvarez got his Twitter account back.
Oh, yeah. Apparently Rick Radis and his Swiss Army knife of tricks, he also knows how to hack Twitter. I'm also going to pick Press Room in this one. Horowitz, again, let's not take that one performance and think that's him or that he's gotten lucky at any point this season. The Press Room matches we've gotten to see this year, he's done a lot of the heavy lifting. No diss to Perry Nemiroff. She's also very, very good. I'm rocking with Press Room in this one. Riley Duralde. Yeah, they're called the Old Guard for a reason because it's time for these newer faces, not really Perry, but Josh, to advance in the team's tournament. I got Press Room alongside Nat. Friday, Lon Harris, Dan Murrell. The Friday match. Singles tournament, who you got?
Dan, the GOAT.
Yeah, it's Dan. It's hard. Talk about people who it's hard to pick against. Dan Murrell's one of those people. And I don't see him. I need to see, do we have the tournament or a tournament bracket in our little thing? So I need to see who he's playing or who's on the side of the bracket.
Yeah, we got CPOVs.
What's up? Shout out to our homies over at a certain point of view. Where's Dan? Dan. Oh, okay, Dan. Cool. Oh, he did play Jessica. Shout out to Jessica Schlo. Saw that she was also in New York with all those Den folks. Shout out to the Den. I know Shook's not here, but love seeing all those pictures. All the folks who were there. I know a lot of our buddies were there. A lot of people in the chat were there. Pretty rad. Sucks that we couldn't be there, but I'm hoping to see y'all at Spectacular. You already know the vibe.
We're booked.
We're done. Again, shout out to Jessica.
Taylor,
but we're booked. We're all good. And it's gonna be so rad. But Merle. But Jeremy said he's rooting for the upset. I mean, I'm always rooting for the upset because that's what makes this thing fun when people get upset. I just don't see that being the case here.
Neither do I.
And Corey Cameron broke it down for me in the chat. It's the Machine or Mike, then Meyer or Yama, Barbarian. There's this tournament is nuts. And shout out to Jeff in the chat. The Den folks are all great. Took a pic of the 6 of them all together. Oh, so that was you. Oh, okay, cool. Like, I know I give Sugar a lot of shit for the Den, but they're actually a bunch of fun folks. So, it's Dan until I have a reason to not pick Dan. Even after he lost the belt to Ethan, I'm like, I'm still picking Dan. So, that's just how it is. Did we miss anything?
No, that's it.
Anything fun happened over the week that we're just forgetting? Trying to think. We did the wheel slides. We did predictions. Suge he started throwing up off camera. No, but
You're
yeah.
horrible.
Well, no, I don't know. I that was just an assumption. If I was right, then
he
I'll
messaged us in the group chat that he felt like he was about to pass out. So lightheadedness.
Big love. Rest up, Suge. Take an emergency. I know. I would. Chandru. Oh dear God. Oh.
We talked about Chandru. With Shannon.
Just the possibility of this being a thing upsets me. No. Please, no. Why take that away from Oyama? I know folks are like, give it to Chandru. Chandru had a shot. Yes, and Chandru's really damn good. And yes, all jokes aside, we hope Shook's okay. But Chandru, he had a shot. I want Oyama to cash that shit in as spectacular against whoever the winner of the main event is. But that's me being selfish. Would Oyama be this generous, letting Chandru use his music and free for all ticket? I don't know. Got to hear from Paul. Right.
Yeah, we still haven't heard from Paul or Winston, so I'm curious.
I want to hear from Paul, and then we'll talk about this.
Can I put a theory out there for you?
Please. Then we'll wrap up.
Is this Chandru starting to put himself out there as a lone wolf and going rogue? Because we said, we know next year's changing. We know there's going to be some lone wolves and rogues out there.
Right.
Could this be Chandru setting himself up for that role, and this not even actually happening?
Yeah, that could be it. I know, like, we're reverting back to what the Schmodown used to be. You know, like, there'd be, like, little baby factions running around, but everybody else would just be flying solo or with their teammate or whatever. But we'll see. But I echo the sentiments of the chat, like Leo, even wants to hear from Oyama, Sean, not liking the bit at all. But the story hasn't been revealed yet, to Sean's point. We'll see. I want Oyama to take a shot, too. I know. Well, I like the storylines coming back with Grace, or maybe even Jay. Who knows? I know we left a lot of that off the wayside. We'll see what gets picked back up. I know the Schmominati was as. I feel like I'm the only person saying that every week. I can't wait for the door to open and it be the Schmominati and Spin from the Real gets shut down one of these days. But we'll see. We'll see when the Schmominati takes me away. But besides that,
that's the show.
That's the show.
We have the whole crew back for like half of it, so that was good.
Yes, big love to Shannon, Barney again, and to Slick Nick Harley for coming on the program. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Love seeing y'all hanging out here. If you already aren't subscribed to Wild Real Entertainment, please do so. I know we talked about some sports on here. You get to see Matt and
tomorrow. We don't know the time yet, but we will be talking about this Gruden story because it all blew up. Colin will let you know what's going on in the MLB because that's his thing. I don't care about baseball.
Hit the bell. You'll get notifications when we go live, and they'll let you know. They'll warn y'all when we go live. Of course, thanks, Ed, in the chat. Edward Haskell, big love. I saw your pictures, too, and your stories, man. I love seeing them tweets. I'll make an Ohio crew take 80 shots in November. Jesus. That's also not great. Jeremy Miller, thanks, man. Good night. To all the folks in the chat, thank you so much. Good night. Subscribe, like the video if you're watching.
Really scared. This Thursday, got Video Drew and a friend of the show, Davis, coming on to talk about Halloween 3 for Halloween 2, The Revenge of Connor and Taylor. And really excited.
I was on the show last week talking Halloween with Jessica. We said her name a couple times in the show.
And I'll be on the show in a couple weeks to talk about Halloween 2018.
That's a goodie. That's a goodie. But yeah, just subscribe. Just subscribe to the channel.
So much going on here. Last duel review should be going up tomorrow afternoon. Check that out. We'll also have a Halloween Kills review for you on Wednesday and a Dune review for you on Thursday. Got a busy week over here.
We're popping. So just subscribe. If you're watching this after the fact, leave a comment. If you missed anything, let us know your thoughts on stuff. I check out the comments on videos after the fact. So just come hang out every Monday. Usually 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, but today we bumped up the show a little bit, and yet we somehow still hit 2 hours. So shout out to Shug. Hope my man's feeling better. And for my boy Matt Thomas. My name is Chris Anthony Lopez. Don't forget, y'all, Spin from the Real at the Pegs. See y'all next week. Peace. Peace.